Oh, I'm sorry to hear about your planet, Bardock, but don't worry. I'll get you a new one. Hey guys, DB right here, and welcome to today's video. Firstly, I do apologize for having to record the video out here, where, yeah, might be some noises and stuff coming in there, and I do apologize, but it's a lot more noisy inside at the moment than what it is out here, take my word for it. And well, today I'm here doing a what if that is really going to be taking a huge left turn in comparison to my other what ifs that tend to stick close to the original story, and that is, what if Frieza saw Bardock's potential? And I've spent the last, 24 hours sort of thinking about this idea, and I think we're going to have quite a bit of fun with this. So let's sit back and get straight into this. Right. Our story begins. During the conquest of planet Kanasa, Bardock and his team have made short work of the locals, along with their soldiers, and pretty much transforming into their Ozaru Grade 8 form, conquering the planet really quickly. And the huge difference to this in comparison to the original from the Bardock TV special is Bardock doesn't get hit by the last remaining Kanasan and getting psychic powers from it. Now, Bardock actually takes out the last remaining Kanasan before that, or before he could pass down the gift of foresight to Bardock, and you know, driving Bardock completely insane before his untimely demise. And well, with that, meanwhile, on Frieza's ship, Frieza is of course thinking about wiping out the Saiyans. Well, he's pretty much going to do it, but he can't help but be impressed by Bardock and his crew and all the hard work they do. And well, Frieza has actually decided to let Bardock and his crew live because, well, they could actually be of more use to him down the line, especially if he lets the Saiyans, do that whole training thing and get stronger. They could actually be very useful to him, like another Ginyu Force. Imagine the money Frieza could save on regular soldiers if he allowed Bardock to become strong enough that they could just about equal the Ginyu Force. But of course the problem came, how do we get Bardock and his crew away from everything else that's going on, so, they can't, interfere or try and stop Frieza from blowing up the planet, and ultimately ruining Frieza's plan. Now, he's not doing this because he's suddenly got some sort of respect for Bardock or his crew, or any respect for the Saiyan race whatsoever. Nope, he's just pretty much going to be manipulating and getting them to work for him and making his whole ruling the universe, or galaxy, a lot easier. So yeah, this isn't a Frieza turning good scenario. No way. And well, after the mission on Kanasa, Frieza asks to see Bardock alone, and he basically congratulates him on all his hard work. "You have done very well, monkey. In fact, I'm recommending you and your crew for a little R&R for all your hard work. So, feel free to make your way to Frieza Planet 79 and just have yourself a good time for a couple of days, and we'll see you back here." And he even threw in a few more extra space credits, or whatever their currency is, and as an extra reward. And well, Bardock and his crew, how could they refuse this? Them getting praised by Frieza? That never happens. That's never happened to a Saiyan at all in history. And well, with that, they actually make their way to Frieza Planet 79, completely unaware what Frieza is actually really up to. And well, meanwhile, on Planet Vegeta, well, you could probably... Gine, who's finished up doing her daily chores for the day and done with, doing all her duties as a cook, has basically turned in, and she's been wondering about Bardock. She hasn't seen him in a while. Normally he would have checked in by now, but, he's just been gone too long. And so she's basically decided to basically drag out her old scouter from back when she was in the military, and like she often would do, Bardock's gone really long, try to listen out for any signs of him. She wouldn't necessarily talk to him directly or anything like that, but just sort of hear his voice would be enough to give her comfort, just so she knows that her husband's alive and well, and she'd be feeling a bit more lonely now that Raditz is also off-world with Vegeta and Nappa, conquering some other planet in the name of Frieza. And well, while that's going down, she actually overhears a certain conversation with the Frieza Force, the henchman just saying, Frieza really intends to go through with it? What about everything the Saiyans have done? Does he really intend to wipe out Vegeta? Vegeta being the planet, not the person. And Gine just was shocked and couldn't believe what she was hearing. And with her scouter, she basically looks to the air and she detects all these power levels coming from the one area, from the sky. That would, of course, be everyone aboard Frieza's flagship, and, of course, even detecting Emperor Frieza himself. And, well, with that, Gine basically just drops the scouter and runs off, and she's trying to convince the Saiyans that Bardock intends to attack Planet Vegeta and that they got to get out off-world immediately, but no one is believing her. She's the weakest Saiyan of her kind. No one's going to take her seriously, and she's the wife of another Saiyan that they convinced is low class. At least as far as a vast majority of the Saiyans consider. And well, Gine just looks to him. You're all fools. You're gonna wish you listened to me. And with that, Gine makes her way to the nursing facility where little Kakarot is currently just sitting there wailing and crying. And of course, that wailing and crying is making the baby next to him cry as well. Yeah, I wonder who that could be. And well, Gine finds little Kakarot, picks him up, and she's making her way to the launching pad, which is guarded by a couple of Frieza Force soldiers who just looked at Gine. Ah, so you brought him already. Good, we're just about to grab him. After all, this is around the time where Kakarot was meant to be sent off-world, going to planet Earth to conquer it. And well, Gine, not saying anything, just pretty much powers up and takes out the two Frieza Force soldiers while they were off guard. Gine may have been the weakest Saiyan, but she is stronger than at least a small fraction of the Frieza Force, especially the ones that are on launch pad duty and don't see any combat at all. And with that, she puts herself and Kakarot in a space pod, and it flies off, going on its original course. And, pretty much a few moments after that, Frieza does indeed blow up Planet Vegeta just as he intended, the Saiyan race all but extinct. The only survivors that we know of that are still alive are Raditz, Vegeta, and Nappa, Bardock and his crew, of course, and unknown to Frieza, Gine and little Kakarot, who are on their way to Earth. Now, if you think that I'm taking Gine out of the story, think again. And you'll see why as we continue with the story. Meanwhile, Bardock and his crew, after, about a couple of days of being on Frieza, Planet 79, they are ordered to report to the Frieza's flagship, and Bardock was, at Frieza's request, saw Emperor Frieza alone, who basically had informed him on the fate of his planet. I hate to be the bearer of bad news there, Bardock, but it would seem that planet Vegeta was destroyed when it collided with a meteor. We tried to get there on time to save the Saiyans, but unfortunately we were just too late. Frieza, of course, lying through his teeth. However, I promise that if you continue to work for me, you will be able to tap into the ancient strength of your ancestors and do the Saiyan race proud. This, I promise you. And with a handshake, Bardock actually agrees to continue to work for Frieza, along with his crew. And they spend their time conquering the planet, conquering planets in the name of Lord Frieza, and actually continue to get rewarded for it. Frieza even gives them a brand new planet where they can actually train and grow their strength and become stronger. And of course, Frieza didn't leave the Saiyans, unsupervised or anything like that. He assigned a Frieza Force soldier by the name of Captain Powden. But DB Roy, you're inserting your own characters. How dare you unsubscribe? Well, hear me out. Captain Powden is not like a completely different alien or anything that we haven't seen in Dragon Ball. He's actually, he's from the same planet as Kui. He's the exact same race, except he's yellow instead of purple. And in terms of strength and prowess, he's about as strong as Kui. The only difference is he actually is the only Frieza Force soldier who actually has a great deal of respect for the Saiyans. And this made him the perfect man for the job, to sort of watch over the Saiyans, make sure they don't overextend themselves or do anything without Frieza's authorization. And, well, their first meeting with Captain Powden did sort of come off on the wrong force, with Shugesh trying to attack Powden, and Powden, basically beating him down to the ground. With a bit more training, you might actually pose a threat to me, Saiyan. But don't worry, I'm sure you'll get there someday. Now, if we're all done, let's go ahead and move out to your new planet. I'm sure you will find the quarters to your liking. And well, pretty much everything, as far as the events of Dragon Ball go, pretty much play out exactly the same as they do with my other What If Gine survived. What If Gine, the mother of Goku, survived. Feel free to check that out. Pretty much everything in Dragon Ball went exactly the same as that. Except now that Kakarot is at adulthood, Gine now knows that it's now time for them to go back and avenge the Saiyan race. Gine, you may think this is actually out of character for Gine, but Gine knows somehow, her husband and son are still out there. She knows that they were both off-world during the attack. They're either out there still doing the bidding of Frieza, or they managed to lie low somewhere. So, with the help of her new friends on Earth, as well as Kakarot and Bulma building her old space pod into a bigger ship, and with the grav chamber, she could be able to increase her strength exponentially, taking advantage of the grav chamber, and actually maybe even be able to recruit Bardock and his crew to her side, and together they can all avenge the Saiyan race. Of course, if she can manage to convince Bardock that it was Frieza, not an asteroid, that blew up the planet in the first place. And well, with the entire Dragon team tagging along as well, taking advantage of the grav chamber, and well, they actually do manage to get themselves stronger. Gine and Kakarot getting, freakishly powerful, them being Saiyans, they tend to adapt to gravity chamber a lot quicker than, well, the Earthlings were. Earthlings, not really built for that sort of training. But, mind you, the Earthlings, and even Piccolo included, little Gohan, along with Chi-Chi, who is, insisting Gohan, study as well as train. They all become stronger together, and well, Gine is just sort of listening, watching on her scouter, trying to find any signs of Bardock, or even Raditz, just someone she can talk to and just try to make these other Saiyans see reason. And well, sure enough, she actually detects a group of Saiyans on some planet on the edge of Frieza's influence. And well, with that, they park a fair distance away from the Saiyans, just in case this all goes south, and Gine decides, well, it's probably best that she meets whoever this is, and well, if anything goes wrong, she can simply raise her power levels, signaling the others to come in and help her. And well, which team is it? Is it Nappa, Vegeta, and Raditz? Is it Bart, or is it Bardock and the group and his crew? It's Bardock and his crew, who are actually sitting by a campfire on their new planet where they're doing all their training and everything. And well, everyone's gone to sleep while Bardock's just sort of keeping watch. He still has his scouter on, and without warning, suddenly a familiar voice calls out to him. "Hello, Bardock. It's been a long time." And to Bardock, shocked, recognizing this voice instantly, he turns to see his wife Gine standing there. "What? Gine, you're alive? How is this possible?" "I escaped planet Vegeta just moments before it was destroyed by Frieza." What? Lord Frieza? Are you serious? I was told an asteroid destroyed planet Vegeta." "Well, that's a lie. It was Lord Frieza. I saw him myself." Luckily, I overheard a couple of his soldiers talking about Frieza's plans over the scouter, and I was able to rescue Kakarot and get off-world, only by mere seconds before Frieza blew it up." "What? This is unbelievable!" And this reaction actually forced everyone else to wake up to see Gine there, and Gine motioning to them all to remove their scouters. And, well, with that, Gine begins to tell her side of the story, everything that has happened, and including what she's been up to on Earth, and with Kakarot. "Kakarot, is he here with you? Where is he?" "He's back at the ship with the others." The others?" "Yes. I have friends who want to help us take out Lord Frieza once and for all." "Ha! Getting help? That's not the Saiyan way, Gine. Tell me, have you really lost your way?" This is Fasha talking, by the way. Doesn't surprise me. You always were the weakest of our kind. Let's scan your power level right now. I bet you're even weaker than what you were last time." Fasha putting her scouter back on, scanning Gine, and Gine just stands there with a smirk, raising her power level slightly. Not much, mind you, just enough that the wind is sort of picking up, and her power level is skyrocketing. Fasha's sort of sitting there laughing, until she notices the power level rising and getting higher and higher and still climbing. What? Impossible! Impossible! 20? No, 30? 45,000? That's stronger than we are at the moment! Bardock looking especially shocked. Guinea has managed to increase her power, 45 times as much since the last time he saw her on planet Vegeta. He is shocked, but at the same time, he's feeling pride for his wife. A bit of the old attraction is starting to stir up, and that's what the Saiyans are like. And well, with that, Guinea suddenly charges and punches Fasha in the gut. I never did forget about that space pod incident. When you sabotaged my space pod. Her referring to back when she was a part of Bardock's crew for that one mission. Pretty much how Bardock and Guinea met and their relationship kicked off. But unlike back then, Guinea is actually now strong enough to do something about it. And well, with that, everyone actually believes Guinea's story after a bit of talking and convincing. And well, you're probably wondering about Mr. Captain Powden. Is he going to report back to Frieza what he's hearing? Actually, no. He's actually managed to grow quite a bit of a friendship with the Saiyans since him being assigned to watch over them and supervise them. So Powden actually has his scouter off too, listening to the whole thing, and he is actually a big key factor on why the Saiyans actually listen to Guinea in the first place. I suggest you listen to her. Don't forget, King Cold and Frieza enslaved my people too. I've seen how they treat their underlings. Whatever you guys decide, I'm with you all the way. Because remember, Powden was the only member of the Frieza force who actually had a big respect for the Saiyans, and could understand what they were sort of going through, having been enslaved themselves. And well, so with that, Bardock and the Saiyans are introduced to the rest of the Dragon team who went with Guinea. So we got Piccolo, the Namekian, Krillin, Tien, Yamcha, Chaozu, Roshi, pretty much everyone who could fight. With the exception of the martial art bad guys, of course. And well, with that, the Saiyans are checking them out. They've got their scouters on, reading their power levels. These guys aren't going to be much help, Bardock. They're only 1,000 each. And Fasha just going, don't be fooled by those readings. I thought Guinea was only 500, but then she was able to bring her power level to 45,000. It's clearly these Earthlings know how to hide and raise their power levels at will. Bardock being surprised by this announcement, and at this moment, he couldn't be more proud of his youngest son Kakarot and his wife Guinea, which begs the question. Guinea finally asks her husband, "Is Raditz with you?" "No, he's with Prince Vegeta and Nappa on some other planet. We weren't the only Saiyans to survive and get, our own planet. Vegeta has his own planet as well." And well, Guinea simply asked, "Do you know where this planet is?" "No, Frieza has decided to keep us separate. I really don't understand why, but I guess now I do. Can't have us all together plotting against him." And well, with that, Kakarot pipes up and says, "So, do you guys know how to sense energy? Or how to hide or raise your power levels?" Bardock and his crew, not sure what he's exactly talking about. I suggest we learn that, because does Frieza have those detector thingies as well? Everyone just sort of nods as in a yes. Yes. Well, we better teach you guys how to suppress your energy so Frieza can't detect us, nor be able to stop us for what we're planning. And Bardock, in a complete agreement, everyone should learn that. And so, with about a month of training and learning to suppress their energy, and with Captain Paladin as well, everyone learns how to hide their energy, and with that, they decide to pick up and leave the planet. With the exception for Paladin, who actually has to report back to Frieza and tell some ridiculous lie that Bardock is about to try and make a reality right here. Paladin, do you remember what to tell Frieza? Absolutely, I'm on it. With that, Paladin takes his leave, and the Capsule Corp ship, which of course is equipped with a grav chamber so the Saiyans can get stronger, is hovering above the planet when Bardock powers up a real high-energy ki blast and destroys the planet. And what is this lie that Paladin tells Frieza? Well, he reports to Frieza and tells him an asteroid destroyed Bardock's planet along with them, and that Paladin was lucky enough to get out of there himself. What? What do you mean an asteroid blew up the monkeys? Well, it's probably for the best. What about Raditz, Dapper, and Vegeta? Has their planet been blown up by an asteroid as well? No, they're still fine. Good. Well, it looks like we've got a few of, the obedient monkeys left. So it's not a total loss. I can't say I really trusted Bardock. And, well, Frieza actually buys the lie. Zarbon do so laughing at the irony. Kinda funny, we told Bardock that Vegeta was destroyed by an asteroid, and now the same thing actually happens to him. Yes, it is kind of a bit of a funny coincidence, isn't it? And well, with that, the Dragon Team are looking for another planet that may be just on the scope of Frieza's influence, somewhere where they can continue their training and hide out, while they actually get stronger and strong enough to actually take on Frieza. And meanwhile, after they find this world, Gine is thinking that she should take the ship and at least see if she can bring Raditz, Vegeta, and Nappa back to the fold. Probably, not a bad idea. But Bardock does imply that it does carry its certain risks, because if they don't believe a thing Gine tells them, they can simply report to Lord Frieza, and the Saiyans could lose their element of surprise. So Bardock does recommend a month of training in the grav chamber before Gine goes off on some rescue mission. Just so the Saiyans do have a fighting chance if Frieza or his men do make a bit of a house call. If Gine's plan, blows up in her face. And with that, the Saiyans, the stronger ones, do spend quite a bit of time in the grav chamber, while the Earthlings aren't really getting any more benefit from the gravity training. They've pretty much pushed themselves as far as they can go. All of them being at almost 50,000 themselves. They do get some benefit from the grav chamber, but not as much as the Saiyans do. And well, with that, Gine does go on her little mission to try find her other son Raditz, and basically she's just flying blind, just hoping to sense his energy, or that the scouter picks up his energy. Yes, she does have a scouter with her, you know, just in case. Anything to make finding rabbits a bit easier. Bardock and his crew, and along with the forces from Earth, have decided to continue their training, doing some light sparring and whatnot until Gine gets back. And they're on a little planet way sort of on the edge of Frieza's influence, so they shouldn't really be spotted. It's one of those planets that's sort of been forgotten by Frieza. And, well, if they sense any power levels, they just gotta suppress their energy, keep them self-hidden, and, well, hopefully any patrolling Frieza Force soldiers will just, you know, fly straight by the planet and forget about it. And, well, Bardock was actually looking forward to training with his son. However, he has seemed to have gone missing at the moment. No one seems to know where he is. And, well, where exactly is he? Well, meanwhile in space, Gine is still searching for any signs of Raditz energy, not having much luck at this point. And, well, she hears a little commotion coming from the back room, the kitchen. And Gine goes to look at it, and she finds Kakarot in there getting a snack. Hey, Mom, I just thought I'd take a snack break before I get back into training with Dad. Gine's just looking shocked. Kakarot hadn't realized they have taken off. They're in space. Kakarot, we're in space at the moment, and I don't know when we're going to be back to see Dad again. Really? We're in space? Why are we in space for? Kakarot, don't you remember me telling you that I was going to leave to find your brother Raditz and bring him back into the fold? Oh yeah, I guess I kind of forgot about that. I was having too much fun earlier. That's just like you, Kakarot. Always forgetting the small details. Well, since you're here, you may as well join me. And so, with that, they're able to do a bit of light sparring while they're both trying to sense out Raditz, Nappa, and Vegeta. And, well, meanwhile, things on the planet where they left everyone else is going along pretty interestingly. Now, Borgos, Tora, and Fasha have all been having training sessions with Krillin, and Krillin has actually managed to beat them, despite being a weaker power than they are. Remember, the Saiyans aren't quite used to the whole sensing energy thing, the whole martial arts side of what Krillin is all about. Not just yet, anyway. They've learned to suppress their power level, and how to sense energy is good enough, and raise their own power level at will, but Krillin's... the way Krillin fights, the whole martial arts, the total way of fighting, it's just thrown them from a loop, and, you know, they haven't really been able to touch Krillin, and there is a certain female Saiyan among the audience who's quite impressed with Krillin. At the very least, she sort of thinks he's cute. He's like small, adorable looking, yet he's taking on Fasha, Borgos, not Fasha, sorry, Shugesh, Borgos, and Tora, and, well, one day Fasha just pipes up and goes, "Hey, Krillin, is it? How would you like to go one-on-one with a real Saiyan?" Okay. Krillin's sort of nervous. It's not often that women really speak to him. And, well, their fighting is pretty close. Fasha has been watching Krillin, has been able to pick up on a few of his tricks. And does she actually manage to beat Krillin? Yes and no. Krillin does still manage to beat Fasha. Fasha's sort of enjoying herself here. Well, sometimes it just doesn't matter how strong you are. Sometimes it's the smartest one that wins. Fasha sort of looks to him in a flirting kind of way. Oh, you are so right. But Krillin hasn't realized that Fasha's wrapped her tail around his leg, pretty much thrown him to the ground, and then slammed him, throwing him a couple of feet. And then, well, she's basically just standing over the top of him. So what do you think about that? Well,
I think class is dismissed for today. And she's sort of getting a laugh out of this, and the two actually tend to grow sort of close. She's sort of curious about this sort of way of fighting, and definitely picking Krillin's brain a little bit. And well, she just finds Krillin's personality and how nervous he gets around him. Sort of nervous because, you know, pretty girl, and also she's strong and terrifying. And she just finds this absolutely adorable. She's like, you know, sort of hugging him with her tail, you know, sort of putting a tail over his shoulder, kind of like how couples put their arms around each other. It's adorable anyway. And well, that's going on. Bardock is trying to find Kakarot. No one has seen him. Last time anyone saw him was, well, Krillin stating, "Oh, well, he went into the ship earlier to get some food. I haven't seen him since." And it's just, oh my god, he's off in space. So Bardock is actually having training sessions with his grandson, Gohan. But Chi-Chi, of course, also insisting Gohan do his studying as well. Well, don't worry, he'll do his studying. And while Chi-Chi just throws a dino cap full of all these books. Oh, you mean that kind of studying? And well, meanwhile, after a couple of weeks in space, Gine and Kakarot have managed to sense Raditz and Vegeta's power levels, and they're heading straight for their direction. Meanwhile, Paladin has been lured to this room by Zarbon and Dodoria, who told him Lord Frieza wanted to see him immediately. But really, it was just an empty room, and Zarbon and Dodoria began beating Paladin to a pulp. Now, Paladin, he is significantly powerful, but he's not stronger than Zarbon and Dodoria together. His time with the Saiyans pushed his power level to be able to take on both of them if it were one-on-one, but not the pair of them together. And well, they're trying to beat answers out of Paladin, who would rather die than tell Zarbon and Dodoria anything. The Saiyans served us willingly. They did all this work for us. And how does Frieza repay them? He destroys them. Just like you helped him enslave my people. I ain't telling yous anything. And well, not getting anything out of them, Zarbon and Dodoria unfortunately destroy Paladin. I know, I killed off my own character. And well, Frieza then instructs Zarbon and Dodoria to go off in meeting Nappa, Raditz, and Vegeta. They've got to at least try to get them on Frieza's side before Bardock could sway them to his side. They don't know who exactly this is who's caused the Saiyans to turn on them. They don't know about Gine yet. However, they are about to. Because, well, Gine and Kakarot have arrived, and, well, rest assured, they do find Raditz, Nappa, and Vegeta. Look at this, Raditz! Has Mummy come to get you? Nappa and Vegeta mocking Raditz as they do. Now, is Raditz and Nappa and Vegeta stronger in this timeline? Yes, they are. They got the same well-treatment that Bardock and his crew got. So they're around the same level as Bardock's crew, if not a bit stronger. But Gine and Kakarot are still stronger too, and Gine does inform them that it was Frieza that destroyed their race, having, you know, actually witnessed the explosion of her planet. And, well, Vegeta and Nappa are sort of somewhat skeptical to believe this. Why should we listen to such a weakling of a Saiyan? You are the weakest of our kind. And I thought your son Raditz was weak. And, well, with a frightening display of Kakarot and her powering up, she proves that they are leagues above their level. You know, they could take on the Ginyu Force if they had to. Quite easily, in fact. And, well, with that, they're more inclined to believe Gine, but Vegeta's still saying, even if I were to believe you, which, not saying I do, how are we meant to take on the likes of Frieza? How did you even get this strong? And well, Gine, reveals they got a ship that has a gravity simulator on it that can simulate gravity up to at least 100 times gravity, and that's basically how Goku and Gine got this strong. Then maybe, just maybe, we can pull this off. Pull what off? Vegeta, Zarbon, and Dodoria suddenly say, who just appeared. You wouldn't be thinking of turning on Frieza, are you? Now this time, their scouters are on, so Frieza is actually hearing every word of this. They weren't aware of Gine and Kakarot, but they are now. You know what? I actually recognize this Saiyan. Yes. Yes. You're a Bardock's woman, aren't you? To think a weakling like you actually survived the destruction of your planet. Your power level's what? 500? I bet you're even weaker now. And well, without so much of a response from Gine, she's powered up and she is already attacking Zarbon and Dodoria, taking them both on. And well, for the first time, the whole traits of the Saiyan, the whole enjoying battle, enjoying being top dog, because right now she is the strongest Saiyan. She is enjoying this, being the top dog for a change, and finally able to put the likes of Zarbon and Dodoria into the ground like they deserve. All the abuse she suffered from these two over the years, and from every other Saiyan that was stronger than her. Even the occasional bad mouth from Bardock, his crew, all of that, and all the behind-the-back comments she got from Frieza Force men, and for the likes of Zarbon and Dodoria, who weren't afraid to tell it to her face. Oh yes, she's enjoying putting the hurt on Zarbon and Dodoria. Kakarot is more or less facing off against Dodoria. Can't let them get a 2-on-1 advantage over his mother. And, Kakarot's been aching to stretch his legs in a real fight. Hasn't had a real fight in ages. And, well, with that, Dodoria and Zarbon are pretty much beaten senseless. Nappa, Raditz, and Vegeta watching on in, just can't believe what they're seeing from these Saiyans they thought were the weakest of their race. Boy, were they wrong. And, well, all that has remained is Zarbon and Dodoria sort of cowering together on the ground, Gine over the top with them, her hand out ready to fire. Just a little message from your boss. Frieza, listen carefully. And with that, she fires a devastating ki blast, vaporizing Dodoria and Zarbon. They are both dead and gone. And well, with that, Raditz and Nappa and Vegeta basically just go along with Gine and Kakarot. There's no point in arguing at this point. Because even if they did win, we're going to side with Frieza. Not that they were going to. Screw suffering the same fate as Zarbon and Dodoria. And so with that, they are then taken back to that planet. And Bardock is reunited with his oldest boy, Raditz. And Nappa and Vegeta, who are sort of looking on here, and Frieza is just livid. Those damn monkeys, I should have blew them all up. Forget the potential of Bardock and his crew. That is it. I am getting rid of those monkeys once and for all. And with that, he orders his men to search all quadrants of the galaxy for these Saiyans. Where are they? Surely they're around here somewhere. But, alas, because of their ability to suppress their energy, they're not having much luck finding them. And well, this is where the next phase in Gine's plan to avenge the Saiyan race begins to come into fold. With that, Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz agree completely to go with Gine back to where the other Saiyans are, and of course the entire Dragon team, and it is basically now time to begin planning the assault on Lord Frieza and finally getting their revenge for what they did to their race. Vegeta, he's more or less going along until he can sort of learn how to get this powerful on his own. He wants to use the grav chamber, and, well, at this point, they're not powerful enough to argue with Gine and Kakarot, nowhere near powerful enough to argue with the two, so it's, best they just come along. And, well, after another month or so traveling back to that planet, Bardock and his crew have been sort of making plans on their own. Now, unfortunately, for this plan, they can't take the Dragon Team with them because they only have their force. Hang on a second. Five space pods. They only have their 5 space pods with them. I guess they could double up if they want to. I mean, Fasha could fit Krillin with her if she really wanted to. Oh, not a bad idea, eh? After all, Fasha and Krillin were beginning to develop a sort of relationship during the last part. Anyway, so bottom line is, Bardock and his crew have been basically going around nearby Frieza planets in the area and liberating them from Frieza control, and helping the inhabitants fight back, which is kind of ironic considering they sort of helped Frieza conquer those planets in the beginning, and the inhabitants not sure whether to actually trust the Saiyans, but in time they sort of come around, and eventually their allies start to begin to grow. Meanwhile, Frieza's empire is getting smaller and smaller, and well, this is beginning to really get on the Emperor's nerves.
What is going on out there? Can't anyone take care of these monkeys? Well, I am afraid, Lord Frieza, that maybe leaving those Saiyans around and allowing them to grow stronger was a mistake. Did you really didn't see this coming, my lord?
This is Barry Blue talking to Frieza.
Barry Blue, I'm in no mood for your, shenanigans right now. I'm trying to figure a way out of this mess.
And, well,
Simply just send a scouting party throughout all the regions of space. I'm sure we'll be able to find the Saiyans eventually. Yes, of course. Of course. Why didn't I think of that?
And with that, he does send quite a huge scouting party, pretty much scouring his entire influence of space, trying to locate the Saiyans. But, now this probably would have worked under normal circumstances, but remember, since Bardock and his crew joined Gine, they have learnt how to suppress their power level and increase it at will, as well as sense energy. So they can sense these Frieza's henchmen coming a mile away and just suppress their energy. Frieza's little comb over of his galaxy is not working. He's not able to find them at all. Even when they come across Gine and Kakarot's ship, everyone lowers their power levels. Well, this is actually where our heroes hit a bit of a snag, because Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz haven't learnt how to do that yet. So they do detect the power levels of Nappa, Raditz, and Vegeta, and begin an all-out attack on the ship. But yeah, it's more or less to no available when Vegeta just basically steps out of his pod and fires a big blast, wiping the scouting party that had found them. And even though Frieza got reports that they found them, the problem was none of these guys had the foresight to put a tracker on their ship or something.
I'm surrounded by idiots. Do I have to do everything myself around here? How am I gonna flush these monkeys out?
And well, with that, Anyway, meanwhile, Vegeta, DNA, Kakarot, and their 3 new friends, and Nappa, Vegeta, and Raditz, well, Raditz being a member of their family, they more or less arrive back on the planet, and, yeah, Gine is wondering where Bardock and his crew are. Dragon Team said, oh, they went off on their own. Something to do with liberating planets they previously conquered for Frieza? And liberating planets?
Ah, Bardock, you idiot! You've given away our plan too early.
This is Gine talking. Yeah, Gine calling her husband an idiot. Of course, an all-out assault. Definitely may sound fun in the likes of saying, but Gine had a plan. She wanted to get them all stronger, and, you know, slowly but surely take down the Empire, and then deal with Frieza. Bardock has pretty much taken the step too early, given away their intentions, which could, pretty much end up backfiring on them, and, well, yes it does. One day, Frieza eventually caught on to the pattern on how these Saiyans were attacking their planet, and realizing that these were all planets that Bardock had conquered for him. So with that, Frieza was able to predict which planet Bardock and his crew were going to liberate next, and, well, Frieza and his crew pretty much beat them there and pretty much take care of all the populace there, just wiping it out. It's no longer any use to them. And, well, in the meantime, Bardock and Fasha and the entire crew are there looking for a fight, but there is none. There is no fight here. And suddenly, Frieza is among them, along with the Ginyu Force.
Bardock, did you really think I was stupid enough not to see what you were up to? You really do have a typical monkey's brain if you didn't think this course of action was predictable.
Frieza, you have deceived us. What you did to our race is unforgivable, and I can't believe I didn't see through your act. I can't believe I continue to work for you, all the people we massacred in your name.
Oh boy, 312. What? Just another one of these damn hero speeches. I get them all so much.
Don't worry, Lord Frieza. I will shut these monkeys up for you. Men, the dance of enthusiasm. The Ginyu Force, more or less, attack, and Bardock is more or less... They are more or less overwhelmed by the Ginyu Force. Fasha and Bardock did manage to increase their strength a little bit and had a little bit of a grab chamber session, but not quite enough to really overpower the Ginyu Force. Frieza, and with Frieza there as well, they really don't have much of a chance, and basically Tora, Shugesh, and Borgos are killed while Bardock is captured, and Fasha is more or less left for dead. And well, they pretty much fly off thinking, you know, the Saiyans are dead, everyone is dead, and that, yeah, they've all won. They've, yeah, Frieza's flown away to his planet, and he's more or less trying to get Bardock to talk and tell him where the rest of them are. He knows there are more Saiyans involved in this. He knows Raditz, Vegeta, and Nappa are no longer with him. He knows that his wife Gine is the ringleader behind all this. Where are they all?
Where are they all hiding, monkey? And I promise this goes a lot more pleasant for you.
I can believe a word you'd say, Frieza. I ain't telling you shit. Pardon my language.
Oh, really? Well then, I guess I don't really need you to tell me. You will serve me willingly by the time I'm through with you.
Fires a death beam at Bardock, and basically instructs his men to take him to the med chamber, and basically that when he comes back, bring him back for more. But DB right, this is the same thing you did with Raditz on What If Frieza Conquered Kanassa. Yes, grant you, yes, it is the same sort of thing that I'm doing. However, yeah, I'm doing it with Bardock this time, and you know, we need something cool and epic for when we get up to the finale, and you know, why not have a slave Bardock? That'd be pretty cool. After all, the name of the What If is What If Bardock's What If Frieza spared Bardock. I guess he just gets to spare him an extra time. Yeah, lucky Bardock. Hey, he ain't dead. He's just going to be losing his mind and probably becoming overwhelmingly powerful, much like how Raditz did in the What If Frieza Conquered Kanassa What If. Feel free to check that out, guys, or read the start reading the live readings I do. Should be archived here on YouTube. Anyway, not the point. Now, meanwhile, Fasha has more or less come to, still alive, and she's reeling to get back to a space pod, and she sets a course for to home, to where they're currently hiding. And after being injured and damaged, she more or less tells Gine and everyone else what has happened, this last development. And Gine is just shocked and upset. Has she gotten her husband killed with her little boasting and her little showing off when she was battling Dodoria and Zarbon? Is it possible that Gine has just doomed her husband? Everything is now taken a grim turn for the worst. And really, Gine doesn't really know what to do here. Should they just maybe cut their losses, go back to Earth? Maybe try this again some other time when they have regrouped in strength? You know? For all she knows, Bardock is dead, and the thought of Bardock being dead has, Gine's really not sure of what to make of this here. And of course, is Bardock dead? No. He has been beaten and tortured into submission by Frieza, that he's now basically a willing slave. Much like how Raditz was in my What If Frieza Conquered Kanassa series. However, he's not as bad as what Raditz got. Like, he hasn't been tortured to pure animalistic insanity. He's not far off it, but yeah, he's not that bad. And well, Bardock is more or less a willing slave to Frieza, and Bardock, along with Frieza, are leading a final assault on Gine and her little resistance movement. And, well, Sans and everyone sense this coming, and the final battle for the galaxy is about to decide. Will Gine finally avenge the Saiyan race like she vowed to ever since she escaped Earth, or will Frieza finally get rid of these monkeys once and for all? And well, with that, we're looking at an all-out battle between the Dragon Team and the Frieza Force, including the Ginyu Force, and well, Gine and Kakarot, they're having no problem at all with the Ginyu Force. Goku and Gine are the strongest Saiyans there. So, the Ginyu Force are more or less taken out pretty quickly, and it does seem that the Dragon Team are pretty much winning, because they've got more or less the Frieza Force on the run. They're trying to get back aboard Frieza's ship and get out of there, when suddenly a big explosion pretty much takes out the lot of them, coming from the ship. And to Gine and everyone else's horror, it is a Saiyan stepping out, and not just any Saiyan. It is Bardock. Bardock wearing this Frieza mask. And he's just saying, "You will leave at once. I will show no mercy." And this just brings Gine straight down to her knees. She can't believe what she is seeing. Bardock is battling with his two children, Goku, Kakarot, and Raditz, and he's actually beating them. Remember, I said Frieza did torture him to insanity. That means having to put him into the healing chamber, and Bardock constantly getting a Zenkai boost. So he's pretty overly powerful at the moment. He's stronger than Gine at this point, and he's stronger than Kakarot. Definitely stronger than Raditz, Nappa, and Vegeta. Everyone's just trying to basically gang up on this new, overly powered and mind-controlled Bardock, and they are more or less being defeated quite significantly and easily. And Kakarot and Raditz, they are seriously hurt at this point. But Bardock is being absolutely ruthless here, and he doesn't seem to really care. These are his own children he's beating up. He doesn't seem to care, and there's nothing the rest of them can really do. They're all much weaker than what they are. And well, Gine is just imagining that time again when Frieza blew up Planet Vegeta. Remember, she witnessed the explosion. She only just managed to get out of there with Kakarot all those years ago. And to Gine, this is like her reliving that moment again. Frieza, you unbelievable bastard! You've taken everything from me, and you dare take everything from me again? I won't have it! No more! And it is Super Saiyan time for you, Gine. Gine digs really deep and becomes a Super Saiyan. And with that, she charges Bardock head on, and Bardock does not know what to do here. He can't keep up with his wife. He is being knocked around and beaten, and Gine just rips off that ridiculous Frieza mask off him and pretty much lays him out cold. He ain't dead, he's just really more or less knocked out. And well, this is where Frieza joins the fight himself, already powered up in his final form, and we get an epic showdown between Gine and Frieza. And well, it is quite a powerful showdown. Now, Gine is not quite as strong as, say, Goku was in the original story on planet Namek when he transformed. So it's more or less a pretty even battle between Frieza and Gine. At least until Frieza starts powering up to his 50% in his final form. And this is where Gine begins to have more or less trouble with Frieza. Frieza is suddenly has the upper hand, and Gine is getting hurt and damaged and bleeding, but Gine is quite enjoying the challenge. Her Saiyan instincts, I guess you could say dormant instincts for battling, is really kicking in. It's pretty sickly. She's bleeding and everything. She is hurt, but she's still fighting and giving Frieza everything she's got. Meanwhile, Bardock is sort of woken up, and he's suddenly more or less wondering, what is he doing here? What's going on? Apparently, that really big hit to the head that Gine gave him is just what Bardock needed. And he's looking to see his wife, the legendary Super Saiyan. He's wheeling at her. He is proud. She's standing up to Frieza. However, it's also not looking good for her. He's getting hurt. She's getting hurt and beaten. and damaged. And well, with Frieza just reveling in this. However, more or less, it's still pretty much an even fight. Gine is just drawing more and more power. The fact is, Gine is just keeping on coming and coming back for more, and Frieza is still having difficulty just keeping Gine down. And well, this is where she Frieza spots a reeling Kakarot getting up to his feet, and Frieza just thinking, I've got an idea. I know one way I can take you down. And Frieza, fires a death beam shot aimed directly for Kakarot. Gine, noticing what's going on, she puts herself in front of the beam and takes the full blast. Gine's golden hair suddenly goes black, and she is down. She is literally dropped dead. And well, this is it's hit Kakarot right where he's lived. It's hit Raditz where he lived, and even worse, it has hit Bardock where he lives. And Bardock is pretty like I said, he was pretty overpowered. Now, it had to take Super Saiyan Gine knock some sense to him, and well, now. You know that transformation that happened towards Gine? Well, Frieza, look at your supposed slave over there. Bardock is suddenly beginning to change, a yellow aura beginning to surround him, and now he is a Super Saiyan 2, with an angry roar. Frieza! You will pay for this! And well, you're probably thinking, is Bardock's transformation really going to make a difference here? Is he really going to be that much stronger than Gine was? Well, yes. Thanks to how Bardock was tortured and whatnot, his power level was about the same as what Goku's was in his base form during the events of Planet Namek, when he battled Frieza prior to Goku's original transformation into a Super Saiyan. So Bardock is about on that level, if not a bit higher. So Frieza doesn't have a chance here at 50% power. He does power up to his 100%, but it's not making all that difference. And just like in the original, Frieza is just burning through that energy so quickly that it's not even a challenge to Bardock. And with one angry blast, Frieza is destroyed right there on the spot. And he's, after that, he's just flying off with to his children and Gine. He's trying to resurrect her, but it's no use. She is gone. I can't believe I let this happen. This is my fault. And boys, I'd understand if you don't forgive me for this. But the boys, Raditz and Kakarot, are very understanding. They know he was under Frieza's control then. It wasn't him. And Goku just more or less pipes and goes, I wouldn't worry about Mom too much, Dad. You see, we have these things on Earth called Dragon Balls. If we leave now, we'll be able to bring her back within the month. And well, luckily for them, Bulma just happened to have a few dino caps for, preserving people that got killed, just in case they needed it. And she had quite a collection of them. So, with that, Shugesh, Borgos, and Tora's bodies are also gathered, and they do more or less return to Earth. And, well, pretty lickety-split, Goku gathers up the Dragon Balls, and they summon the Eternal Dragon, the Great Shenron. And Goku goes, just wishes, can you restore the lives of everyone who was killed by Frieza, except for the bad ones? Referring to the Frieza Force. Because remember, Frieza did kill some of his own men when he ventured out of it. Actually, no, wait, sorry, that was Bardock that did that. So, scratch that. Yeah, he just asked to wish back everyone who was killed by Frieza. And, well, because of that, Tora, Shugesh, and Borgos wake up, along with Gine, the wife of Goku, who's pretty much rendered the hero of the Saiyans. Well, along with Bardock as well, but it was still pretty much all Gine. I mean, Gine had to die to bring that out of Bardock. And, well, with that, the Saiyans are more or less welcome to come to Earth and stay to Earth whenever they want to. You know, and they do quite like the cuisine Earth has to offer in terms of food. And Bulma is quite happy, you know, sheltering them and whatnot. They can come here for space vacations whenever they want. Yeah, most of Bardock's crew more or less want to get out there and explore more of the planets, and start liberating the planets that Frieza had taken over. And Raditz actually decides to join them. Meanwhile, Fasha and Krillin have decided to get married, and, well, Fasha is pregnant with a half Saiyan, half human child. And, well, as for Bardock, he's decided to retire on Earth with the rest of his family, with Gine and Kakarot. Well, the exception of Raditz, I just said where he's going. After all, Raditz does feel like, with everything the Saiyans done, they've got to do that whole thing and liberate planets. Vegeta, on the other hand, he's more concerned of sticking to the Sun family like glue so he can learn how to be a Super Saiyan himself. And while Nappa is more or less getting into his gardening. Nappa has decided to retire as well, taking a page from Bardock's book. And Goku and Raditz are more or less hoping that they can learn how to be Super Saiyans too. So, you know, Bardock definitely does enjoy a training session with his boys, and is more than happy to let Vegeta train as well. Even though Vegeta could be stubborn at times and try to figure out on his own. And, well, with that, Vegeta does more or less hook up with Bulma like he does in the original. And, well, as for Raditz, he's more or less just enjoying time with Tora, Shugesh, and Borgos. After all, he's pretty much known them since he was a kid. Bardock's crew would eat at the old Saiyan diner at the time, so they're more or less catching up on old times while they liberate planets. And Raditz would visit from time to time, and he, well, more or less found a nice city girl to fall in love with, someone who's actually a former martial artist herself. Raditz sort of saw these guys trying to mug her once. He was going to step in, but she actually managed to beat these two muggers. And who was this person? Well, turned out to be Ranfan. You know Ranfan from Dragon Ball? We only saw her during the tournament arc, and that was it. And, well, Raditz quite took a liking to her, and, well, vice versa. And, well, they are quite the couple. And, yeah, and she actually enjoys going out to space with Raditz when, Raditz has a certain job to do, and, you know, she's well looked after and out of danger and all that while they're liberating planets that are still under control from remnants of the Frieza Force. And, well, as for Gine, she can finally ease back into the life she always wanted. She can go back to just being a loving, well, mother to Kakarot, a grandparent to Gohan, to little Gohan, and, you know, go back to her life as a cook. In fact, she actually has a job being a cook at the Capsule Corporation. Bulma was nice enough to give her a job. So it's definitely really nice for Gine, and well, she's always close by to the rest of her family when they come by and visit and everything like that. And of course, Gine does, fly home after shifts, so it's not like she's missing any time with her family whatsoever. And well, that concludes this story. So I hope you guys enjoyed this series. It definitely was a pretty fun one for me to do. I quite enjoy that. I do like creating Bardock and Gine content especially. Huge Gine and Bardock fan. And yeah, and thank you guys for joining me for this series. It was a lot to do. For now, this is the conclusion. Unless I can think of some other way to have it continue. Until then, this is more or less the conclusion. And thank you guys for joining me for this series. And as always, don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And, I'll be back here with more content either way. And, if you think there's anything I've missed, anything you want me to cover, we might be able to squeeze another video out of this. But, at least for now, this was the conclusion. This is, I feel, is its natural ending point. So thank you guys for joining me for this series, and thank you guys for the support with all the other what ifs I do on this channel. And I'll be back again next time with more content. Catch you later.